Okay, living on one income in a dual income household is impossible. So I've heard. Okay, well, in this video, I'm going to share how you can start to make that a reality, or at least some things that you can implement if living on one income is not in the cards right now, and maybe what could be an alternative or something else to consider. Let's get into it. Okay, so I had someone put in the comments that, hey man, it's crazy. That doesn't make, wow, that's tough, that's rough to live on one income. And to be honest, you might be right. But the question I would ask is, how did we get here? How did we get here? Because a lot of times there's an accumulation of good decision, good decision, good decision, bad decision mixed in there. Good decision, not so great. Good decision, bad decision, bad decision, bad decision. But and I'm saying bad, it's not a judgment thing. It's all intertwined and mixed in that brought you to your current situation. And I'm speaking in the context of relationships, specifically being married. Yes, 100%. First, let me take a step back. Where I got the concept of living on one income, I didn't realize that this is where having a mentor is really helpful. So I had a mentor in like 2023, 2024 time frame, and he said something that stuck with me. He was savvy with his money. He had, and he was also a spiritual guy. So we were going to church together, but he wasn't all churchy and all that, which was pretty cool. He was very down to earth, but he was, he would always talk about business stuff. He was always talking about finances, and I just heard him say one day, and I was like, wait, break that down. He said, me and my wife for 20 years lived on one income. And they had two kids. And I was like, what? Hold on, wait, what? Break that down for me. Talk to me. Tell me more. Now, of course, we're in Houston, so it was in Houston. So, and I was like, break that down for me. Like, yeah, man, we lived on one income, and we invested the other. I was like, okay, all right. Well, I mean, at that time, I was single, ready to mingle, getting it in, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, it didn't really land at the time, but I was like, okay. I'm like, man, that's cool. Wow, that's impressive. Discipline, intentionality, structure, and man, admirable work. You working with your wife. That's cool. Like, I love that. So I like, so life goes on, but that's where I got it from. So I just wanted to give you the context there. I didn't make this up. That's why it's important to have mentors and people that is living proof, walk the walk, talk the talk. That way you can get some of the jewels and implement it, and it enhance your life. Especially if you're looking like, oh, I see your life is, you're living a great life. So hey, I want to do something similar. Teach me. So that's where it came from. Okay, to answer the question, if it's not in the cards right now, because maybe you're in a high cost of living, hey, I get it. Depending on what your income, your earnings, it might be time to move to a lower cost of living. Hey, you got some. Hey, and what is that say? Easier said than done. I hear you. But hey, like for example, I'm gonna give you an example of people leaving because it's just not feasible anymore. Like, look at the millionaires and billionaires. Business owners leaving California because it's just not even realistic no more for to do business because they're just the way they're getting taxed, and it just doesn't make sense. So they leave and they'll move to Texas. They'll move their operation to Texas. Like our Seattle, they just announced Starbucks is going to Tennessee. Like, I'm out of here. Whatever y'all got going on with these taxes and all that, this ain't good for business. I'm moving to Tennessee. And even in New York, you got people moving over to other places now. So adopting that same mentality, if it's a cost of living issue, I know it's not as easy as I'm just making it to be, but sometimes you gotta make these business decisions as a family and say, you know what? This doesn't make sense. This isn't feasible at all. Nope, we're not doing it no more. And just schedule, getting a plan and say, hey, look, we gonna move somewhere where the cost of living, because it's not financially feasible for our business, our family business anymore, because it's too high. It doesn't make sense. And maybe relocating at a strategic time. Especially, having kids too, so I know that that's a part of it. But as I said, my mentor had 2 kids, so hopefully that neutralizes that a little bit. Number 2, and actually this one should have been number 1, my bad, but we just gonna keep going. But we gonna reverse the order. You must, whoever your spouse is, it is non-negotiable to get on the same plan financially with your partner. It's not okay for one person to do everything, because if you get taken out of the picture, they don't know what to do, and everything that you built and they were just a part of the journey, they're gonna blow it. And so, did you leave the legacy that you thought that you were leaving? You built the house. You built the house on sand. It wasn't on a firm foundation. You on its strongest with leaving, how you have also helped teach your wife, and then of course if you have kids, your kids, but teaching them too along the way. But this gotta be done by together. Whether that be taking courses together, going to get coaching together about finances, reading books together on finances, and then having structure of weekly financial meetings, just really treating your family like family business. Family, like the way companies operate, they have meetings to talk about these things, moving around, they may have CPAs in there, attorneys, all that, the same type of mindset. But and if you're stronger than your wife on the finances, but your wife is sabotaging your finances, and it's not to poke fun at your wife, and we can flip it. And maybe the wife is strong in the finances, and the guy, he just spinning it up, buying cars, going crazy, whatever. We gotta figure out how to solve for that, because you got a big hole in the ship, and at some point it's gonna sink. It's not gonna work. And so, because you got so many leaks, if you're not on the same page, it's just gonna be hard. And so even if you are the most driven person ever, you're gonna drive yourself into insanity, because you're gonna be the boat is sinking, and you're just trying to paddle faster to get to the destination. But hey, wake up. You got a hole in the boat, and your husband is putting that hole in the boat, or your wife is putting that hole in the boat. Come on, slow down, help them. But, and at least get them, and they might not ever be as savvy in finance the way you are, but they need to understand the fundamentals that all adults should understand about finances. You can't leave them in the space of they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. And then you getting frustrated at your husband, but maybe you need to help him, or your wife, and maybe you need to help him, and slow down to speed up later, because you have a major issue that's not being addressed. Working together and creating structure of assessing the process, the progress, and how things are going, meaning working together on the budget, making sure they understand finance on some base level, all these things. But you don't have to necessarily be the one to put all that weight on your back. Find a course that can start that process to maybe cover all of the major areas of finances in a broad way to at least help them get to a baseline. So let me make it real for you. For me, my wife, I just want to be real. I just want to be like realistic and share what actually worked for us. It may work for you, it may not. I don't know. But what we did was, man, it's crazy. I mean, we didn't set out to do it this way. It just happened. We were just enjoying the process and we were just getting to know each other and just living life, man. So what we did was we took Financial Peace, man. We took Financial Peace, the GOAT, Dave Ramsey. We did that. We took it one time. And let me tell you why I did it. Because I quickly recognized I had a thought pattern around finances. My wife had a thought pattern around finances. And I was like, okay, I could see a fight could happen down the road, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years from now, and it's not gonna be good. Or it's gonna be resentment being built up. And so I just got ahead of it and I just didn't have an ego. I just like, you know what? I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that. But for the sake of the marriage, I'll do it. And we were engaged at the time. So I said, hey boo, let's take Financial Peace. Cool. We took it, we learned a lot. Which it was great. Like we took it, we learned a lot. Then we was like, man, this is good. That was good. But it hit different. You're taking it while you engage because you might not be merging income, anything yet, which I don't recommend that. So that we didn't do that. So then we got married. Well, and so that's one thing. But while we also were engaged, we took saving your marriage before it starts. Game changer. Oh man, that was a game changer. Game changer. And it wasn't just going to meet someone 3 times and then they coach you up, okay, yeah, you're good to go. Y'all all right. No. You're not even scratching the surface half the time when you're just doing a 1, 2, 3 meeting or 1 or 2 meet with a pastor or whatever. No. Marital counseling, no. We took a marital class, but it was saving your marriage before it starts, and it was for engaged couples. And it was like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and we did it multiple times because we was enjoying the process. And literally every time we did it, it was like a shedding of single poor behaviors or every time it was like we shed the mindset and the selfishness of being single and not thinking about us. And so it helped us every time we did it. The second time, it was mine, I did this, me, but then every time it's like, okay, that feels weird. But then I think that next time we did it, it was we everything. All right, but we did this, ours, we and our. It got real, we, ours. And so so it helped us get really comfortable with that language. Now, I had to share that part too. So we were very intense. Now I'm looking back in retrospect, I was like, oh man, damn, that wasn't normal. That wasn't normal at all. But I mean, we were just doing we were just doing what we were doing. And so, Financial Peace, back to that. So we did, and so then we got married, took it again during the pandemic. Pandemic, whatever you believe. Yeah. So anyway, did it again, and we was like, you know what? We about to go crazy on this debt. Let's just hey, you know what? That'll be like our first big goal together, being married. Let's do it. Hey, we got good incomes. We doing decent, but we could do better. And we just plowed through the debt. we plowed through during the pandemic, and everyone was saying, oh, well, I'm just gonna wait to see if my student loans gonna get forgiven. We were like, you hear me saying we were like, nah, we ain't trusting the government for nothing. Even if they offer it, we just gonna take the ownership and accountability on ourselves and just do it. And it's gonna bring us closer together, because we're gonna have a goal that we working on. So over the next 18 months when we did that, we plowed through over like $320,000 worth of debt. Man. Well, let me take that back. We plowed through 150,000 to start, because that was the student loans, little ancillary car stuff, credit cards, even though we paid off every month. But it was, we just, everything. That felt good. Then we allowed we took some breathing room and let our head up for a quick second. And then we put our head down again and we plowed through our mortgage and paid that off. And so at the end of that, it ended up being, when you put it together, $320,000 of debt. Now, when we got serious about, like when we was calculating, when we got serious, it was a total of like 18 months span that when we were serious and just hitting, it was like 18 months, we plowed through $320,000 worth of debt. Now, I know, so that was from a higher income earning couple. So meaning you making $150,000 or more in a lower income area. So just putting it in context, which is why I was saying, hey, if you come down to a lower cost of living area, that might relieve some stuff a little bit, And so that's how we did it. But togetherness, working together, and so you're saying, well, how do I even start? So a tip, so some type of solution tip. Where can you start to land it? To make it all, bring this all to make sense. If you're like, look, man, we ain't living off no one income because the math ain't math, and I get it. Okay, well maybe you live off a check and a half, because you still need to pay yourself first anyway. So when you and it's so funny because, believe it or not, you actually might be living on a check and a half. I mean, like a paycheck, like a salary and a half, an income and a half, and you might actually be investing that half. So phenomenal, absolutely amazing. And then from there, start looking for ways of, maybe there's some waste that's happening. But think about this. You move to a lower cost of living area. That's probably gonna bring some more income, especially if you move to a tax-free state, where that might make a big difference for you. And so those two alone, maybe you might be income. Now you're living off. Now it's not like a half of an income. Maybe you're at 0.75. Okay, But the point is, it's progress. It's progress. Don't beat yourself up if it's not one full income in a dual income household. And maybe it's time to start looking at side hustles. And maybe what you make from the side hustles, you're actually taking that and putting that in and investing as well. But the whole point is financial independence, financial freedom for your family. And then also you can live a good life along the way and enjoy some of these things, enjoy some of the luxury. So, so that's how I think about it. Obviously I'm talking in broad terms because everybody's got different scenarios. Maybe you're just 2 income earners and it's just y'all 2. Maybe it's 2 income earners, you got 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids. That's a whole different story. But in the broad, this video is still applicable because there's some baselines that I listed out earlier that you can work through. That I promise I promise that you will find somewhere in there where you're like, okay, that's an opportunity right there, and start there. Working with your husband, working with your spouse more closely, y'all, because the byproduct of that, y'all get connected, and so it's like finances is the topic. But man, we got really close because we were having budget meetings and coffee, at a coffee shop. But we just started getting close, and what it was helping our communications. And so during the rough times, because y'all built so much equity up in each other, you kind of give that person some grace to where you're not automatically ejecting out of the relationship, and that might carry you through some of the downtimes. But that's just my perspective. I'm one person. I don't have all the answers. Hey, I'm still seeking and searching myself. So hope that was helpful. If you need any further insight on, man, how do I navigate this with my wife? I click the link below, book a coaching call. Happy to talk with you. Until the next video, peace.